Hi, my friends. Sarah Noel Wilson here. I'm calling you from a hotel lobby where I am waiting for my plane to arrive so I can head to the airport and head home. But I wanted to come on and talk to you about an experience I had actually with the lovely, lovely woman who checked me in when I first arrived here in Flint, Michigan. I noticed that her name tag didn't say her name, it just said front desk staff. And I thought this is really peculiar. I thought, wow, is this the company standard? So I asked her about it. I said, oh, do you not get name tags? And this is what she said. She said, no, I choose to use this one because people mispronounce my name so much. I just got tired of trying to ask them to get it right. And I said, so what's your name? And her name was Jaquinna, Jaquinna. Beautiful name. And I said, well, Jaquinna, it's really nice to meet you, and I'd love to hear your name. And it was an interesting moment because you could see her feel seen. And I'm not telling you this because I did something remarkable. I didn't, folks. I just did what I feel like basic human respect, which is let's get each other's names right. So I'm not coming on to say, oh yeah, look at me and look at what I did. Nope, that's not what this is about. It was interesting though to see how her demeanor changed, how she said, I really appreciate you making sure that you got it right. And so then every time I saw her, I made sure to use it. I've seen this time and time again. My colleagues and friends who have names that might be different than traditional American Western names tell me time and time again, like, oh, if I have one more person who, right? It's just easier to go by a Q, or it's like, she even said that it was just, she was like, sometimes I just tell people, like, just call me TQ or JQ. And it's like, well, but what do you prefer? And I was actually, a number of years ago, I was in a workshop, and one of the gentlemen, his name was Manasseh, which is such a beautiful name, and I wanted to make sure I got it right. And he said, it's okay. It's okay. You can just call me mayonnaise because that's what other people call me. And I was like, I'm not gonna call you a condiment unless that's what you prefer. Is that a nickname you prefer? And he was like, no, I prefer Manasseh. And another woman spoke up and said, well, my name is, and I forget her name. Let's say it was, trying to think of like names that get mispronounced or misspelled someday. I'll just say that her name was Catherine. And she's like, well, people spell my name with a K and it's with a C and it doesn't bother me. And the attitude was sort of like, well, because it's not important to me, I don't understand why it's important to someone else. And I go, well, at the end of the day, we don't get to decide what's important to someone else, right? Like understanding what do they prefer, what makes them happy, what makes them feel seen, what makes them feel included. That's what matters. And so it's just really simple, my friends. Work to get it right. And when you don't get it right, try again. Don't make it about your inability to get it right or, focus on the fact that like, oh, it's just so difficult for me. Just try to get it right. And if you have to, write it down phonetically. Sometimes I do that when I'm working with global audiences and maybe there are sounds I'm not used to hearing or saying. How can I do it so I can get it right? Because people's names are probably one of the most important words that they have. And what research shows is that the brain lights up with joy, right? It lights up in really positive ways when people hear their name said. Not only that, but our name is connected to our identity. It is sometimes really strongly connected to our family. It's connected to our heritage. It's connected to our culture. So a really simple thing to make people feel included, to see them as their whole self, is get the name right. I just wanted to share that because it was such an interesting moment with Jaquinna, who is just a lovely, lovely person. I'm going to be sure to let her manager know how great she was. But if we don't get it right, if we don't care to get it right, what we're saying is we don't care enough to see you. So would love to hear your thoughts, would love to hear your experiences, and take care and be well, my friends. And let's do everything we can to show up better for the humans around us. All right, love you all. Bye.